Is my mic on? Aye. Usual build up, you know. But I've been messing with a few things, added some stuff. I've given up on warps. Poor old warps. I need to spend some time with that, but not on this batch. Morning. My goodness, 10 watching already. Amazing. Famous. So morning Paul, Cornish Waves, Davy, Steve, Martin, Martin, I need to say your second name then. Keith, Anna, Luke, Axel, Graham as well. Super. My Case, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in, mate. So what have we got going on here? As always, I try to explain where I'm up to with this monster of a thing, and it really is turning into a bit of a monster, really. Oh my goodness, me Opie. Well, I need to get some dust covers, don't I? Oh my goodness, skin particles everywhere. Yeah. Anyway, while I've taken out warps, what was going into warps was my knackered A110-1 VCO. I have a tuner constantly open on that because it just drifts all the time for some reason. And morning Tom. Yeah, so I've got that doing a bit of a bass drone, so I've just that's the knackered oscillator. And what I'm trying that's different today is I'm actually using my clock divider and clock sequencer for a change as well. So, and this is a new one as well. It's an old module. It's one that I made some time ago. It's an OR gate, which is a bit simple, really. And it's passive. It's a passive module, but it allows me to take a number of gate outputs into 3 inputs, and I get one output based on. So it's a bit like mixing gates. I mean, I could have mixed it another way, but what it's allowing me to do is, and while these are close together, I've got 3 gates, so one at 1, one at 3, and one at 6. I've also got it. So I'm using the BeatStep Pro, one of the drum triggers, to reset the clock divider. That's that one there. So that keeps things in time with everything else. And then the output so the output from the mixed number of, so these gates are being mixed with this OR gate. That's going down to one of the excuse me, one of the envelope generators of this 4-section complex envelope generator that I'm using as a simple envelope generator. Morning Grace, morning David. Is it David, or I'll call you David? That's what you've typed your name as. Thanks for tuning in. Grace has got an EMOM tonight, so it's don't break a leg, get there first. Where is it, Grace? Oh, you did say before. I saw you reply to me thing. In fact, no, I got the. It was on Pro Synth Network last night. Somebody mentioned where you were playing. Is it Nottingham or? I don't know. Anyway, just mentioned it in the chat, and everyone wish Grace luck. Grace and Andy, their team. do some great live jams, very Tangerine Dreamish in places. Anyway, so, and then I've got the output of that particular envelope generator. I've got that one going to, I'm using my triple cross. So it's interesting this, in as much as, okay, I've lost a module there, but I've brought in my DIY gate and this OR gate and this AJH synth triple crossfader panner, which is normally used for audio, but I'm using it for CV, control CV. So one of them, input B, is the envelope generator output, and that's generate that pulse, that you can see the red light there probably. I hope Andy's alright. He's been under the weather, hasn't he? Yeah, so as well as the output from the envelope generator into the crossfader, I've got an LFO. I had a spare LFO. There you go. And I've got that going into there. So what I can do is I can crossfade between either all LFO. So that gets rid of the pulsed gates, if you like. Or I can go all just gate. And in between, what I get is a gradual, so the LFO is doing that. So I should explain where the output's going. So I'm sending the L1. So if you send it, basically, if you're only using one output, it's a mono output. So it's like a mono mix of the LFO and gate, and that's going to, I can't trace these cables anymore, but anyway, it goes to the FCV, or the frequency CV thing. So you get like it's opening the filter gradually with the LFO, but it's also pulsing the filter with the gate. So you can hear that building up as the LFO hits the peak, and as the LFO starts to drop off, it closes the filter, but you still get that slight pulse. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Morning, Ranjit. I'm picking everybody up here, trying to keep on board with whoever's joining. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, that. Yeah. What I've started to do as well with my cables, I don't know whether you can see that from, let's go to the other camera. I don't know if you can see that from this camera. I need a camera just over my shoulder here or something. I don't want one here. It's just going to be in my way, but I joined the DivKid Discord, and I got this idea off one of the guys, a guy called Tam Tam, on the DivKid Discord. And basically, what they do is they've got this section. Oh, way up, that's Fernando. Cry 9C. Welcome, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so yeah, what this guy Tam Tam did, he's created out of his. He's got like I think it's a 7U case, 104 HP, and he's used tendrils, which are these jacks with a 90-degree plug on it, and he's twined the cables around each other. It looks quite awesome, actually. It looks like I keep looking at that camera. We're over there, aren't we? Hi. Yeah. So he's like used cables so instead of using ties, he's used cables as the ties. So as he's developed his patch, he's intertwined the cable so it looks like a nice compact performance case. So I thought I'd have a go, except it's not quite as good as what he's done, but there you go. Morning, Tony. Cry 9, by the way, he's from the that's Fernando. He's from the let's go back to the other one, the camera, the talkie camera. Yeah, so Fernando, he's from the Reaper Discord, the unofficial Reaper Discord. So anyway, so that's kind of the new stuff. I don't think I've done anything else really. Oh, I'll tell you what I have done, and it's to do with the BeatStep Pro. I plugged it into my computer yesterday to change the notes at 0 volts, because what I was getting fed up with doing, especially with elements, you've got to down tune for some reason. I don't know, it just doesn't conform to Eurorack standard. At least mine doesn't. Whether there's a bug with it or not, I don't know. But I've got to down tune everything by at least 2 or 3 octaves. So I reset this to the default, which is 0 volts equals C2. Except it isn't C2 really. It's more like C4. Anyway. That's all that's due. I think I might have changed 1 or 2 of the notes on Metropolis. Oh, I did actually. I changed the notes on pressure points. I tried something different with pressure points and then didn't like it, but it is what it is now. I think it's okay now actually. But you know what I'm going to do? Just hold on a second. So what I've been doing is I've gone, well, if these cables are in the way, can I twine them around somewhere? And are they too short? And they're too short, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, that's the top one there. I'm going to put a slightly longer cable in here. So that I can get it out of the way of pressure points. So make that go down there somewhere out of the way. I mean, I'm not playing pressure points or anything, so I don't really need to get to it, but just those 2 grey cables there are getting on my nerves, so I want to put these in and get them out of the way over the side here. It's that one, then this one here. So that puts those a little bit out of the way, you know, get them below the case. Right, where are we now? Orb of Doom, yeah. Val bought me that a couple of Christmases ago. I never used it until the start of this year, so oh, okay, yeah, right. Cheers, Davey. I didn't see that. Thanks for tagging me, because if you don't tag me, I miss the chat. So yeah, thanks for letting me know. It isn't more economical. I mean, you can all call me Andrew if you want, but or anything really. But I'm Andy, except on a Sunday. Or if I'm naughty. If I'm naughty, I get called Andrew. So the next thing then really is I've got to I've really got to start making up a tune, because I think I've evolved this now as much as I can. And so that's basically what I've been doing here. I've been designing an instrument, and just wondering where I can get to that. I think I know what that is actually. That's the yeah, that's right. That's that one. Yeah, so with all this patching, what you're doing in effect is you're designing your own instrument, your own performance instrument. And at some point you've got to go, yeah, that's it now. I've got to do something. I've got to perform something. Morning, Dilly. Red Crazy's comment there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what was I going to say? Get the dust out. I'm unclean. I'm not as dirty as Christian Ensign, like. So, you can afford cleaners. Okay. What was I going to say? But yeah, so I think I've finished with the patching. If anything changes now, it's going to be with the patterns and the sequences and stuff. Actually, yeah, there is one thing I've not mentioned here. What I'm trying for a change, instead of using the dynamics control section on the West Pest, I've taken an output from the fold out, and I've put that into one of my homemade passive low pass gates, actually I've got a spare input there. Right, okay, that's another change I've made that I just remembered. Yeah, so let's just try the West Pest. I'll just put a bit of a simple 3-note arpeggio going here. It might play. I think I've turned the volume down. There you go. Ooh, heck. Yeah, so that's the West Pest through my own low pass gate, with a gate provided by well, it's kind of routed from either one of two gate sources on PAMs. I've got 2 speeds, so, and I'm using my switch multiple, so I can quickly go but it's just double speed. Yeah. So that's another change. Now the other change that I've done, let me just faff in there. Yeah. The reason why I've got a spare input on my first little mixer here is because I decided I didn't want the bass, so that's this one here. I didn't want that going into the disting effects, and I wanted it going directly to Reaper. Morning, Jeff. Another early one from the States there. Cup of coffee, no doubt. Ratchets by hand. Yeah, ratchets by hand, that's a good idea there. Perhaps not. Yeah, I haven't got ratchets. I've got some ratchet, but that's downstairs. In the shed. Anyway. settle that down. Yeah, so basically I've taken a separate base. So that, you know, this base one here goes directly into Reaper. I'm just worried in case if I've missed it. Oh, Dr. Cynthia, morning, Doctor. It's always nice to have a doctor handy just in case. Okay. So what I've got to do now, folks, is actually develop a tune, and that's the thing where it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of where I'm stuck at really. And I need to start writing stuff down. Yeah, you're right, Grace. I do need to look at that. I believe Andy's got it working with his BeatStep Pro, hasn't he? So yeah, it's a good shout that. And I've got, what have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 1 HP gaps there, so I can get a 4 HP module, another one in there somewhere. Although I want to leave this for my filters really. This is my filter row. And I've still got room up here. I can get rid of some of these soon. I mean, some of these modules are basically just blanking plates because I hardly ever use them. And me 2 passive, in fact a lot of these passive stuffs could actually go on the desk somewhere in a little DIY mini case because they don't need power. So I've got lots of options still regarding modules. I need some more LFO, definitely need some more LFO. So what's that for, Tom? Let some heat out. I mean that's where these gaps come in a little bit handy really. I had a bit of a gap up here. Oh, in fact I have, yeah, there you go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 1 HP gaps up the top here in the distance. So what I'm hoping is that helps to sort of like get rid of some of the heat, especially in the summer. Oh yeah, the Behringer 182, yeah. Yeah. Morning, Mike. Amphonics Blue, yeah. Morning to you. Yeah, I need to have a think about the GP82. It's a nice looking utility, that. So what's making that noise now? This one. No, it's the West Best. Yay. So what was I saying? I've got to develop a routine, basically, some sheet music, if you like, or at least some notes that tells me start off with this and then go to this and then wind that up and change the such and such on this one and then change this pattern and go to this and make Metropolis 5 steps now, that sort of thing. And that's where we're at, unfortunately, boys and girls. Yeah, it's good advice, that, Doctor. So you always need a doctor in the house. Oh, nice one, Dr. Synth. Yeah, so Chris, yeah, he's on. Chris is one of the resident members of the Ramsey show at 1 o'clock my time. Yeah, like you say, nice bloke. So yeah, I definitely need to have a look at that and how I can use it in my little setup here. Anyway, so where am I? Don't need the West Pest really. Now the trouble is, I could, because I'm not using the dynamics control section, the volume knob on here doesn't work, so I've got to remember, if I don't want the West Pest, I've got to take it out of the mix here. And that is saying to me, well, actually, Andy, you need to probably twine these cables up as well. Let's have a look at that. Yay, spaghetti! I'll pull out that one. Through there. That's a little bit better, marginally. So anyway, yeah, notes. I did start a notepad thing. Yeah, no worries, Tony. Yeah, catch you later, perhaps. Oh, nice one, Paul. Be interested to see how that sounds in your little setup there. I say little, it's quite a lot of stuff there, isn't there? Nice little setup Cornish Waves has got in his little room there. Sort of like desktop units and some keyboards. Yeah, it's a good little setup. So oh, I've got all these ideas. So I have started up a text file, a notepad file, and I need to develop that. I'm not going to develop it today because that's a bit unfair, isn't it? But so what I'm thinking is let's do a bit of a performance, but with the mic on. So I'll get rid of. Perhaps I'll get rid of everything. Just took it down to nothing. Let's take you out. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? Oh. See, I just don't know where stuff's coming from. This is ridiculous. What a monster of an instrument I've got here. Like I said, it's just too much, baby. Get rid of that drone. Actually, this will be a good just make sure I'm short. Little setup here. Like I said. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can watch this back, you see. So if I sort of like chat about what I'm doing now, it's kind of like dictating my notes for me. So that's interesting, really, isn't it? I'm only turning this down here. This is it's the output from one of my little envelopes down here, and that it's an envelope, so it alters the wave folder parameter here. So it's a sharp ramp up and then a slightly gradual ramp down. I can explain that later, perhaps. I think I've shown it previously anyway. So yeah, note to self then. I'm going to start off with elements. I think that's a given. There's a slight bass note, and I know what that is actually. Even though I've got all the CVs down on this Vactral VCF, stuff's leaking through. So what I do is I turn that volume down. Then I've got all the LP level in, which means that I don't get any audio at all through there now. Not that it matters so much, but whiteboard, yeah, defo. I was thinking that this morning. I'd be like a mad professor with like this big massive pad scribbling notes down and stuff in, crossing stuff out, and definitely need something. Whiteboard might do it actually. Yeah, good shout there. Used to have one somewhere. No worries. Catch you later. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, start off with the. Let's start off. So we open up the. First of all, we open the gate. How do we open the gate? So I've got this offset at 10 volt. It just sends a voltage, a positive voltage. Once it gets to a certain level, the gate comes on, so you can see the play or the green light there coming on elements. Nothing happens because none of the exciters are turned up, but it allows me to. Another bass note coming through here. Where's that? Oh, I know what that is. Sorry, it's that one as well, isn't it? Let's turn that down. So I turn the bow up. That starts off. That drone. A bit of blow as well. Not much. And then the plan is to augment that bass drone. And I'm looking at span behind me there. Go of what you've been up to, Tom. Yeah, so I'm going to augment that drone from elements with other oscillators, which normally are expected to be sequence voices, but while they're not playing anything, so there's no patterns going yet, there is a sort of a pattern going from Metropolis, but I'm not using the gate out, so it just sets the note value on that first step or stage. Sorry, we call them stages. So in fact, because that's the only one that's on as well, I've got all the gate modes turned off except for the first one. And I've currently got it set to, or I should have, I've set that to 2 steps, so it just plays the first 2 steps, but we'll come to that in a bit. But because there's no other notes going through, so not all of them, like, so if I turn this one up, that's getting pitch CV from pressure points, so I can't use that so much. But I can use the bass one here, this bass drone. So I'll just bring that up till it, and I can see the bass level there just getting up on span. That's about right. Morning, Thurston. So yeah, let's bring some of these voices up. And these first 2 voices actually play the same notes. It's just that the different, they get the same pitch CV, basically. Yeah. And actually the Mavis gets the same pitch CV as well. So that one pitch CV, which comes from BeatStep Pro, actually sequencer 1. So if I select sequencer 1, I can change the notes from here. But anyway, so I'll leave that play in this whatever it is, low C. And let's bring up another one. I think I can bring up this one here on the Wasp. Yes, that's not being sequenced. I can also, in fact, actually thinking about it, yeah, that has got some LFO going in it as well, so you'll hear that open up over time. It's got an LFO going into it. I think I can bring this one up here as well. Slightly different sound. In fact, this particular Ivo has got 2 oscillators going into it. It's got one of the Distinct Mark 3s, and also the 2 HP VCO going into the 2 inputs there, an octave apart. So, and then I can also bring this one up as well, I think. For what it's worth. And there's a bit of a LFO going into this as well. I don't think there's any. Let's have a look. No, there's no. So this last filter here takes the takes a gate from the drum section, and on this first pattern, there's nothing being sent to it at all. So, all right, cheers, Grace. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, and have a great night tonight. I hope it goes well. I know it will. It always does. I'm just going to put a bit of FM on, which I've got noise. I'll just put a bit of noise into the Elements drone. So yeah, so I mean that's a kind of like a bit of a drone bed. Oh, in fact, actually, what I was going to do was what I was messing around with last night. I got the Evo out. So I thought, right, if I can just set that drone up there, I can just play some freeform Evo stuff over the top of this to begin with. Just turn the volume up on that. Jazz note. I've just seen your message there, and Dave, I'll get on to you in a minute. So yeah, anyway, in fact I'll do it now. So yeah, bit of Evo. So yeah, Dave's question about the Dream Machine. I do like the Dream Machine actually. At the moment, for this particular monster, the two EXs are both the same. They're the FX multi-FX algorithm, and it's just the way my case is set up. I don't have a proper mixer. I need a mixer with some aux sends, and that would allow me to free up. Then, if I had like an 8 input mixer, I could get rid of my two A138s. I say get rid of. I mean, I can probably still use them for other stuff anyway, because, you know, for mixing, you know, wherever. But. And I'm looking at it's a Doper mixture I'm looking at. I can't remember which one it was now. It's got a send on it, so that would allow me to use just one Distinct for the multi effects. And eventually, I mean, I would like to be able to have a dedicated effects unit, but I'd have to make my mind up which one I want. I fancy the sea legs actually, but they ain't cheap. Morning Dan, you made it. Thanks for tuning in, Dan. I know Dan can't stay long, he's on parent duties this morning. yeah, so what was I saying then? Rewind that a second. Oh my goodness. Disting, yeah. So Dave, I hope that answered your question. So yes, I do like the Dream Machine, but the reason why it's not being used here is because I'm using the two distings, yeah, for effects, for delay. Actually, I'm using it more for the delay, for the sequences. So yeah. And what next? So the next thing to do would to start developing some sequences, so some sequence sections, and what I want to do is do as much as possible to begin with. Well, not as much as possible, but do some bits, but without the Metropolis. Sorry, not Metropolis. Without the BeatStep Pro. So the BeatStep Pro is still going along, and there is basically it's just but there's one that I think that's a reset actually. Which one's that? That's marvellous in a remote. These are half of them. Oh yeah. That's interesting. I don't think I'm using that now. It's kind of like growing up like a shanty town. I don't know what's what. So anyway, yeah. So I've still got the Metropolis. So what I want to do now is I've set the Metropolis to 2 stages, and the first thing to do is to bring that simple sequence in, and the Metropolis drives mainly these 2 filters here, or the voices that are in these 2 filters here. So let's have a look at the Wasp if I bring that up. And that's one of the PAM's gates. But the interesting thing about this one is I've used one of my linear VCAs to match, to mix 2 gates, basically. But one of the gates is from the BeatStep Pro, and because I've not chose the pattern yet, I'm just getting this. It's a 16th. Oh, is it divided by 16? I need to suss out where all these go. I've forgotten. Look at all these. I've got 1, 2, 3 clock out, four clock outputs there, and I can't remember where half of them go to. So anyway, yeah. When I start the BeatStep Pro going, this will sound different. And then the other one is this, which has got a different set of gates. I need to remind myself where I'm getting that gate from, actually. I think it's just a different, it's just a different. Oh my goodness, where's it going? Ah, right, yeah, probably it's from the chance delay, yeah. In fact, if I up the chance that to 100%, just plays constantly, or even at 60%. So. I suppose at this point now, and this is where I sort of like get a bit confused, so I've got to remind myself. So when I go to pattern 2, what I might have to do, that's worked, I think. So what I was wondering about, and it might still be the case, I was wondering whether I need to take, because at some point I need to take these drones down, because they're going to start being used for proper sequence stuff. I think there is actually. Let's open up this one here. Oh, there you go, yeah. So there are, on pattern 2, there are a number of gates now playing. So gates 1 and 2 are basically going into, if I remember rightly, these two envelope generators here, then the outputs of these are going to the two CV inputs of both this filter and this filter. So when I open up the CV levels, I'll probably take that filter down a bit, but now I've got like a bit of a bed, if you like. Morning, Klaus. Yeah, let's do. So now I need to do something like. Oh, I don't really can hear that now. There's that much going on. So there's two lots of gates now going into the CV2 input of the WASP via the VCA. That one there, actually. It's just playing that single note because that's what Metropolis is telling it to do. So let's bring the second stage gate mode. Let's turn that on. So I can probably turn that on and off. So every now and then, just turn that second note on, which is an A sharp step down. So the first note is a C, the second note is an A sharp, yeah, B sharp, or B flat. Who are you going? Morning, Alex. Good to see you. Oh, morning, Simon. Hey, Simon, great batch. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Wow. Yeah, so there's a bit of development there, and what I could do every now and then, in fact, shit. So now that I've got the beat step pattern 2 going, I think I've got something on this last filter here. I've just opened up the there you go. So there's all sorts of stuff that I can bring in and out here, even the pressure point sequence. I need to have a think about that. I might actually thinking about it, I could put a third gate in but just not use it all the time. That's interesting. Or is it? It might. Yeah, I might. You've got to be careful how you use these mults, these switch mults. So yeah. Yeah. Lots and lots of little things going on already. So I mean, I've not even brought. Well, I have. There's a little bit of the Beat Step Pro stuff is quite basic. So there's that. That's sequence 2, and then sequence 1 is. What I've done there is, because there's 2 separate gates coming from the envelope, coming from the 2 EGs here, I can add them together basically. So it kind of develops a pattern, even though there's a fixed pattern with the 2 drum gates that are controlling these two envelope generators, I can mix and match how they open up the filter. But it's all a drone note at the minute, so on pattern 2 I don't want to have any notes going at all really. It's just the basic C note. But I think this one's a G actually. No, it's not, it's a C, isn't it? It's in check there anyway. Yeah, it's a C. Okay, let's turn that down a bit. Back to the Metropolis. So just 2 stages at the minute. Let's bring in a 3rd stage. So I'll bring the 3rd stage in, but I've not turned the gate on yet. So it has changed how it sounds, because obviously the length of the notes is different. I can't take any credit for organising these cables. I'm now a member of the DivKid Discord, as I was saying earlier, and this guy set up a 7U case by twining all the cables around each other, so I can almost, some of these cable ties can go now. I've started to do the same as he does. I've been winding my cables around. So anyway, back to the Metropolis. Yeah, so let's develop this a bit more, and if I turn that 3rd stage on, so you can hear that 3rd note. Let's bring the 4th stage in and turn that 4th gate mode on. Now, the interesting thing that I've set up with morning Chris Nilsson, morning to you. Yeah, I'm using one of the drum outputs, drum triggers, to reset the Metropolis. So to remind myself which one that is, I think it's the I think it's 16, and there's a reason for that. I could have used 1. You'd think, well, it says reset on 1, but the way Metropolis works, or the way I've got it set up, is that 1, a trigger on the first beat isn't quick enough for Metropolis, so I send it 1 from the last beat. And the reason, so, and with it being reset, it's made basically what is effectively I've only got how many stages? We've got 4 stages going at the minute. And okay, the pulse count on stage 1 is 2, the pulse count on stage 2 is 1, the pulse count on stage 3 is 2, and the pulse count on stage 4 is 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's effectively a 6 note or a 6 step long sequence going on at the moment. And because this is resetting every the end of every sequence, because I'm only at 50 beats per minute on PAM. This is where it gets complicated. I'm on 50 beats per minute, so effectively These are eighth notes, so I've got, it's almost 2 bars. It's not almost 2 bars, it is 2 bars. So let's just count this. I'll get to here, go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I can't even count straight. 2, 3, 4. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to think about that. It's working at the minute, and I might regret it later on because I actually might to go faster. But for now, it's working. So anyway, yeah. So because there's a reset coming from beat step, it makes that 6-step sequence in Metropolis sound like it's longer than it is, if you know what I mean. I don't know whether that made any sense to that. Thank you, Alex. Anyway, so you can see now how I'm kind of, I mean, obviously, I mean, I've been going for how long? It's, because I'm explaining it, it's taking much too long. And what I've got to think about now is, well, how much do I develop the Metropolis sequence? I've got another trick up the sleeve for Metropolis. I've got an LFO going into the octave. So this first, it's aux ACV input here. I've got set to change the octave of the range. So if I just bring that in slightly. So you can just hear a slight, you know, so from a 4-note stroke 6-step sequence, it sounds bigger than it is, and I've still got 4 stages to go. Let's have a look at those then. And again, I've not turned on the gate mode for 5, but what it does is it's brought another 2 steps into the mix, so it's changed it yet again. Let's turn the octave down. So let's bring the gate in for stage 5. Yeah. Let's leave that there for a minute, because then the other interesting thing, I say interesting, that's all relative, isn't it? Shall I put the wobbly camera on? That might work. So there's still the pressure point sequence I can bring in. Let's take some of these other ones down a little bit. Now, the way this works, at the moment it's only playing those top 4 notes there. So pressure points, it's a 4-step sequencer effectively, but you've got 3 rows of CV. So I use the 3 rows of CV by sending them to a switching sequencer, which is currently just stuck on that top row. So if I bring the next row in as well, all right. Oh, there's something out of tune there, isn't there? Yeah, I need to check that out. That's going to bug the backside off me. I'm going to take that out for the minute. So there's a performance thing there that I can bring in as well. So let's go back to Metropolis. Let's bring in another stage and turn the gate mode on. I get lost in this really. What camera I'm on that one. Yeah, I just get totally lost in this. So you'll have to just bear with me. Just make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Yeah. Cut cables. Yeah, okay. So let's bring another stage in. Bring last one in. Okay. And we'll just put a little bit of octave switch in. There you go. Okay. Press save. Thanks, Simon. Get in there. It's getting there. So, a new backup copy for Alex. Yeah, so what I was thinking of doing then is, once I've got this sequence built up, was then just take the CV down on some of the sequences. Oh, we haven't even brought this one in. So I started. This is why I've got to make notes. I didn't bring that thing in there when I started the drone. What a wally! Note to self. Which camera? Wally. Yeah. So let's just bring these down a little bit. Take those down together. In fact, let's take elements down a little bit as well. I'm not too sure how much control I've got over that without turning it off. But I've just reduced the bow by quite a bit. So the idea is just I want to try and take stuff down a little bit. So I thought I'll pick up the guitar again and do some noodling for a couple of minutes. Let's turn the volume down. I mean, just remember to turn the volume down when I put the guitar down. It would make a noise when I pick it up. Then turn it up. trying to play guitar in time with the flipping sequence. This is one of my problems really with how I managed to play in a band for years, I just don't know. So yeah, I need to come up with a bit of a noodle, sort of like, it doesn't want to be like a free, totally free noodle. I need to come up with some sort of a, you know, lead. Hey up, Rafters! Hey up! Tuning in. Wow. How you doing, mate? Not heard you from you in a week. We talk a lot on Discord. So, something like that. Yeah, so what I'm doing here after this, I'm just sort of like explaining to myself as well as guys that are watching how I'm gonna try and perform or build up a performance. I'm just gonna, so from what I'll do at the end of this stream is, or sometime after the end of the stream, could be tomorrow, could be whatever, I want to start making some notes, you know, do this, then do something else, and then pick up the guitar and blah blah blah, that sort of thing. Just so that I've got some kind of an arrangement going that I can ad-lib around. So I guess the next thing to go on to really is the next pattern, and I've only got 3 workable patterns on the Beatstep Pro at the minute. I've got more, but I've only got 3 really that are kind of working, and this third one is different musically, and I'm not even sure that I like it yet or not, but let's go to it anyway. There you go. Right, so basically I've got 64 steps, and each one's an 1/8 as we've discussed. And I'm just switching between the two, sort of like 2 basic notes on the bass. So let me ring this up a little bit as well. Actually, I think there's a different. There you go. Yeah, so there's a bit of a ditty going on here, really, if you know what I mean. Morning, Neil. Morning to you. Oh, watching on the phone. Oh, oh dear me, like a caveman. Sorry about that, Neil. So, I mean, I've not performed yet as such. This is just me explaining to myself how I'm gonna let this pan out. So for this musical section, I call it musical. It's a bit more musical than the previous section, if you know what I Yeah. Actually, I'm wondering whether that should be an octave down. Which one is it now? I think this one is. Is it that one there? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's alright like that. Generator drives that one as well. Oh, I see, it's that one there. Yeah, so I'm just reading your message, Alex. Yeah, I mean, there's so much I've got to work on. Not only in terms of this track, but my own level of skill when it comes to this sort of stuff. Which is why I do drones. Drones are a bit easier. I was thinking of actually turning on one of these. Just means I've got to stand up. And I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see my. Oh my goodness! I know what I'm doing today. I'm getting the duster out. Definitely have to get some dust covers for these. Because I spend about 16 hours a day in this room. The other 8 are in my bedroom. So. Oh my goodness! Will these even turn up? Is it that one? Yeah. Let's have a go at. I'll add a channel for me. Morning, Carrie. Morning to you. Thanks for tuning in. Just going to turn on the OB12, see if I can do some kind of a keyboardy sort of thing on top. So that needs to be armed. Oops. Input mono, OB12, there you go. Let's see what we've got. Some sound. Oh yeah. And I think I've got to make sure that I've not got actually any I'll say what I'm going to say in a minute. This thing is linked via MIDI, obviously, to the to Reaper. So if I've got any patches, any presets that are linked beats wise, yeah, BPM, any BPM effects or arpeggios or whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm not using a patch for that. Because at the moment I've got, it's not even playing actually. I wonder why that's not. Yeah, just waffling. Over this, find it. And one thing you'll notice, camera on, my keyboard skills are pretty naff really. They're a little bit, they're not quite as good as my guitar skills, let's put it that way. Let's find something nice on here. Don't try and play fast. Yeah, so that's an idea, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably haven't played it much live, have I? It was used on ephemeral. Let's turn wobbly camera off. Yeah, so I used it on ephemeral quite a bit. You ain't getting no cake, Davy. Don't forget, guys, if there's something you need me to see, just type in synchrotron so I can it lights it up in orange. Otherwise, I won't see what's going on. So, I guess the next thing to do would be to build this, take this down, deconstruct it. But what if I take this down to, say, back to okay, so there's some scope there. And I could actually develop, I could probably copy this a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, then just do some slight note changes over time. But then I need to go back down to nothing, or not quite nothing. Let me go to back to 2. So obviously I've got this on weight, so basically it waits until the pattern's finished until it selects the next pattern. So, but what I want to do, the way I want to set, because I've got 16 steps to play with, so what I want to do is, I don't want to go backwards and forwards because I'll forget where I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, all of these, to pattern 4. I've lost up on pattern 4, but I'm not really bothered, to be honest. So the idea there is I can go to 3. And then go to pattern 4 when that's finished, which is the same as pattern 3, but I might just, you know, that's where I need to think about, well, what do we need to change on this copy of pattern 3 to make it slightly different. Yeah, so let's take this back down to 2 stages. Take stuff out of the mix. Yeah. And so on. Yeah, I need to fix that. Let me bring in the. Oh my goodness, some stuff's gone right out of tune there. Should we have a quick tuning break? Morning, Wabbit. Let's fix these tunings on the what's the name. So let's go back to pattern 1. Oops. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's go to 1. And let's take a lot of these down. I'll leave the bass up. That's what I'm going to tune to, and probably that one as well. Bear with me. Let's take this one down, and you take you down. That's Metropolis. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't sound too bad now. You know something, and again, this is note to self. Because tuning, I'm sure we haven't even brought in Mavis yet. Let's have a look at that in a bit. Because pressure points is quite a pain to tune, because if you imagine you've got the full range, you've got about, I don't know, 5 octaves on each one of these knobs. So what I've done is I've put a DIY passive attenuator to reduce the range. So I only want it to go over a couple of octaves. But I'm wondering if that's upset something. let's stop that playing. Let's take the clock out. We'll take the reset. Huh? That is weird. I know, let's just stop everything. There you go. I should be able to step through these. Yeah. And open that up. So that's that first row, and I can put a tuner on this now. At least I could have video which one it was coming out of. I don't know, let's take all these out. I'm going to take some of these, well, take all these filters back to 0. Because what I might do next, I might just try performance. Let's take you down a little bit. Let's take these out. Oh, elements. Yeah. Turn you off. So have a break. Go and go and get yourself a brew. I want to tune these up. I'll just check them on. In fact, actually, what I might do, thinking about it, I'm going to take my DIY attenuator out of the mix because I freed up this offset attenuator over here, and I think that's going to give me, mind you, I've already set this up, haven't I? Oh, goodness me. Yeah, I want to sort of, because I've got to make a note of all these notes here. That's not too bad a thing, really, is it? Bear with me. Let's open up this tuner here. So, yes, Luke. Now, it's not quite going down to. Let's bring up this one here. Because that's off a disting. That's in tune. That's dead on C. That I'm even going to check it. Digital oscillator. So that's kind of close enough for me. That. That's that one. But let's take, which one would this be on? It would be on which? Can't remember which input it goes into now. I think it's the. So if I'm just going to take the delay out. Just to try and steadily tune it a bit. Oops. So that's G4. That's not too bad, that. But that's too sharp. You okay? Go to the next row. No, that one's out, isn't it? Morning, Dave. It's, right. I think that's okay. Maybe this is affected by the heat. Maybe the pots are affected by the heat, I don't know. Let's plug that clock back in there. And let's get the clock going. Oh yeah. Take the reset out. I just increased the number of clock divisions, the time at which it cycles between the three rows. So yeah. Anyway, what else? Let's plug the reset back in. Now, the interesting thing, I guess, about the reset into this switching sequencer is it uses the reset or the sync from the Metropolis. So by changing the number of stages in use, it will change how that sequence sounds. So let's take this up to a step each time. So that's 3 stages. This is 4 stages. Five stages. And so on. 6 stages. And of course I can go let's take that back down to 2 stages. Oh dear. I'm just laughing because, like I said before, I just get lost in this. I forget that there's, you know, nearly 30 people watching me online. So, now then, I didn't bring in Mavis. In fact, I didn't even bring in West Pest. Oh dear, dear, dear me. Let's get Mavis going. Hold on a sec. That's Mavis. Just random blips. But it takes, Mavis takes it. I should have had Mavis on as I was playing at least pattern 3. Let's go to pattern 3. Yes, Dave, the Metropolis does do ratcheting, providing you have the right firmware. And I don't have the right firmware, and I've been told it's easy to sort out, but I'm not bothering basically, because the way you update the firmware on the Metropolis is you've got to replace an EEPROM, I think, some sort of chip, and I missed the boat on the ones that they were selling. It's probably about 50 quid, something like that, including the delivery. But I didn't know, because, you know, no one sends you an alarm bell going, update your firmware on the Metropolis. It just... So the window for that just went. And so I haven't got ratcheting on the Metropolis, unfortunately. Yeah, sad but true. Okay. Should we try... Oh, morning, Hayes. Yeah, I don't recommend to anybody to get into modular. But I think when they see what I'm doing here, sometimes, I mean, like Rich, for instance, the bug bites. Hold on. Oh, I've got 3 messages on Discord. Right. Okay, so so many things to do. So many things to do. Let me take that out. Let me take the West Pest out, but I've got to remember. I've got to remember that. Need another longer cable there, don't I? Gets in the way, that. As long as I remember which cable I pulled it out of, which hole should I say. Let's try a slightly longer one. And I wouldn't normally use these ductile ones because my favourite cables are the thick musical instrument ones, but what I'm finding with this kind of patching, it's they're a bit too thick, a bit like me. Get in there, you. Oh no. Where's it going then? Oh, there you go. Right. You see that? That's quite a nice little. That's that one there. But it kind of gets lost, doesn't it, in the melee? You know, there's so many opportunities here that I've got to take advantage of by not having everything full on all the time. Morning, Brett. Oh, morning, Lemon Delight. Hello there. Didn't see you come in there. But yeah, hi Lemon Delight and Brett. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So that's actually playing the same notes as the bass. Oh, I've turned that down, haven't I? Oh yeah, there you go. All these ideas floating around in my head, it's ridiculous. Let's try a performance, for what it's worth. So let's take all these things, and I mustn't forget this time. So what I forgot during all that chat of God knows how many hours is I didn't bring in this thing. Is that even in tune? I tell you what, I've got to get. I'll have to replace this. I try to use it, but it's just. I've got to have a flipping tuner constantly open with this thing, so it needs to go. I can get 2 distings in there. This is 10 HP, 2 disting. No, a disting is it? Yeah. Disting EX. Oh, now then, there's a thing. Get another Disting EX. Yay! Okay. And then I mustn't forget that. So where's the? Oh, it's that one there, isn't it? There you go. Right, okay, so let's just take that down a bit. Hey, he says, hey. I mean, yeah. Should I do a mic off performance or just leave the mic on? I don't know. I like the mic off because it focuses me, I find. Morning, Tony. You might have just made it back in time. Well, Tony's back. Come on, let's see if I can do a mic off thing here now. And I wonder why that's being taken out of the. I'm just curious here why that. Yeah, it must just close it down to nothing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Don't want it that deep. So let's take him down. Let's take that down just to be real, just to keep it real. And I need to be on step. I need to be on pattern 1, don't I? So let's go back to pattern 1. 2 stages to start off with only. Let's turn all these gates off on Metropolis. So I've got to reset everything back to basics. Only one thing being coming in place from that thing there. Yes. Okay. Right, come on. Oh my goodness, I need me Ebo as well, don't I? I just want to do some guitar stuff. Oh my goodness, this could get scary. But you know, let's go. Well, what can I say? Well, thank you, Simon. Oh, Kev, I'm on, Kev. Wait a minute. Hold on, I can't catch up with all that. Hold on a minute. Someone's been shouting me. Fork. Yeah, it's a tuning fork, yeah. In my favourite note, C. 523.3 hertz. Well, you know, again, I'm going to watch this back. Thanks, Simon. Thanks, Grace. Thanks, everybody. Oops. Yeah, okay. Nice one, Simon. Yeah. Yeah, keys. Oh, is No Lake here? Morning, Fred. Oh my goodness. Hiya, Fred. Yeah. Lots of jazz notes in there. I know I should have repeated them to, like, you know. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the wobbly camera on. Oh well, you know, I can't think of everything. I'm very old, you know. Not over keen on that voice. I think it sounds okay with the drone, perhaps, but on its own, it's a bit. Honest to goodness, I am well rusty when it comes to keys. Even more rusty than my guitar. So it was nice to see. I was trying to keep it all modular or semi-modular, but I thought, well, I've got my guitar. What if I just bring the OB12 in as well? So that's a possibility. And I still missed out. I missed out this thing. What a plonker. This is supposed to bring like a bit of a beat pattern to the beginning during the drone. And I forgot all about it again. What a wally. Do I ever release... What? Andrew Brooks? Hey up! How are you feeling, mate? I hope you're well enough for tonight. See you, Mum. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Goodness. Shopping and cooking, eh? You know. What time is it? Mate, it's 12:15. And one nappy performance. Oh dear, never mind, eh? I've got to write these notes down. So I'm making some performance notes. I'm not going to do one of those fancy charts with squiggly lines on to say and do this by squiggly line drawings. Oh no, I can't even bother with that. So I'm just doing a text file, just in Notepad, reminding me to undo this and then next do something else and then bring this in and so on and so forth. Because clearly I am forgetting stuff all the time. I forget to bring stuff in. And the other thing that I'm sort of like losing sight of is that sometimes I'm just bringing too much stuff in, and I could stretch these live streams out, or sorry, these performances out even more by thinning stuff out and then bringing something else in. Do you know what I mean? Instead of absolutely everything all at once, like that film. Yeah. Amazing. So much to do. But as I said at the start, yeah. Well, it's muscle memory, isn't it, Hayes? And everybody else will know that does this. I know Luke and everybody else, you know, Andrew, Grace, or Andy. You've got to rehearse stuff. With a song, I'm not saying it's easy with this song, but if it's like with a song, you've got, you know, your intro. You might do your bit of a chorus first, then go into verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, all that, and you've got clear structures to work to. With something like this, which I intend to last 30 minutes long, at least 30 minutes, I've really got to fathom out exactly what I'm doing, when to bring what in where, and so on, and take away the ad lib. Well, obviously I'm still going to ad lib stuff, but start to cast stuff in stone. That this is when I've got to do this kind of. So I'm now going to spend the next 5 minutes tweaking this, and then I'll do another 5 minutes playing a bit of guitar, so on and so forth. So I think that's what I've got to do next. So that's my homework between now and next Saturday, and then next Saturday hopefully we'll get a proper performance. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, grip the reins firmly. Yeah. For too long, I know. Well, yeah, it's an EMOM. You get that 15 minutes, don't you, and the counter's going down and you've got something to work to. But when you're in your home, anything goes. Yes, I know what you mean about it being a blessing or a curse. Yeah, the improvising. It's knowing when to stop. So when I do a bit of a guitar noodle, I've got to remember, I've got to put some kind of a time limit. And what I noticed as well, I'm sure you noticed, I wasn't playing to the pattern, not just to the beat. I wasn't playing to those note changes on pattern 3. I couldn't hear the where it changes. It just changes from C to D sharp, C, D sharp, goes backwards and forwards between C and D sharp. Let's do it quick. So it does 4 bars effectively of C, and then it does another 4 bars of D sharp. So you can hear that. So I wasn't picking that up in my solos, so I need to work on that. So lots of stuff to do. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, get that, Grace. Are you off, Rabbit? Okay, Rabbit. Catch you later. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Yeah, rehearse. Yeah. Yeah, some good stuff there. I can read these chats back after. I often do when I'm listening back to my streams. I generally wait until the chat's up, and then I'll pick up on what people are saying in the chat afterwards. Yeah, response by the audience. Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah. But at least I say the monster is done. While I've been doing this, I've had a few more ideas where I can put on my filters that only have one CV in, or not enough CVs in. What I can do is I can use this. I've got two more inputs I can use for the crossfader panner to either pan between two different gates or a gate and an LFO. So I might open that up a little bit more. That crossfader panner. There's the rotipolar as well, which is like a CV or whatever mixer. It attenuates and it inverts as well. So I've got this one Christmas. I've hardly used it. I need to use that more, but it's just not featured at all in this one at the minute. So yeah, okay. So I reckon that's it. Let's just fade this out nicely. Just up to you, Mavis. Thank you very much. He does use his toes sometimes. Didn't tune her today. What time's it? So I mean, I was probably going to do a longer one today, and I've gone over my 2 hours, but I want to start going to 3 hours, but I'm going to wait until the clocks go forward here. We go to British summertime, which is sometime in March, and the reason for that is straight after my stream, well, almost straight after my stream, like Keith has just mentioned there. Now he's see you later, Keith. Keith's off to Randy's show. I often can't make Randy's show because having done a live stream for 2 hours, 3 hours, we've got stuff to do. And but at least with the when our clocks go forward in Australia, I get, or at least in Perth, they don't have this. They don't have daylight saving faffing around with the clocks. So yeah, it means I can go from 10 till 1, and there's still a 1 hour gap from the end of my stream to Ramsey's stream. Thank you very much, Grace. Thanks Luke, Keith, Brett, Dave, Kev, Hayes, Fred. Sorry about that. No, don't worry, Fred. Honestly, it's just a lot of waffle. Honestly, there's no real good bits from today apart from me deciding certain things. There was only that performance from the end. So Dave, yeah, Simon, thanks. I know Graham was here. Bass Bus, that is. Wabbit has already gone, I believe. David Poole, Davy, Tom, i.e. Tracker Jack, Alex, Rafters, who tuned in, Martin, thank you, Martin. I'm bound to have missed somebody. There's that many. Lemon Delight. Absolutely amazing. I just yeah. Thank you. Let's call it a go. Go and get some work done on whatever it is you need to be doing today. I'm gonna go to the outro screen and then open up YouTube on my PC so I can say my goodbyes on there. Thank you very much.